Hello everybody and welcome to my presentation. For this presentation I'm going to demonstrate interrupts and something that I created myself. So here's what I did. In a nutshell, I created an interrupt that's supposed to run every second or so, and when that interrupt runs, it flashes a blue light. In the meantime, I have in the main code I have a Larson scanner running. So the Larson scanner is running independently from the interrupt, and the interrupt basically interrupts every second or so and flashes the blue light while the Larson scanner is running. It works good, but I do have a little bit of an unpredictable result, and I'll show you that in the video. So let's go through the code, and I'll make this brief. So we include the AVR input-output header file. We have to include the AVR interrupt header file for the interrupt, and I am using a delay, so I incorporate the utility delay header file. We have a couple of defines here. I define LED pin 7 as pin D7. We have delay time of 850. It's going to be 850 milliseconds. LED port is port D. We have a pin D and a DDRD, so we're using basically register D because it has all 8 pins. So here's the interrupt. To call the interrupt, we have to make an uninterrupt, and we type in ISR for interrupt service. I'm using timer 1 overflow for that. So basically, once it reaches a certain state, it's going to reset itself. Now, so we set port D. We set this to basically pin 7. The timer is going to run, or the interrupt's going to run on pin 7, and we're running a 16 megahertz clock with this. So I'm running, it can go up to like 65,535. But we typed this number in the TCNT1, which is the counter basically. This is going to be how high we're going to count up to. So we do this for this because the mathematical formula, which I'm not showing here, this is going to equal 1 second at a time. So in the main, I declare my DDRD, and they are all going to be outputs. Oops, I need to get rid of this. So the TCCR1A, which is the clock, is running on 0. We're doing that. The TCR1B, we're setting this to a prescaler of 1024. The prescaler is going to determine how fast we're working at. With this prescaler and the formula I use, it's going to come out to 1 second. We're using a time mask of 1. This is going to enable the timer overflow. And then we basically start the interrupt with SCI. Meanwhile, in the endless loop here, let me take this out. Sorry, I have a couple things in here I was experimenting with. We have our Larson scanner. So we use a for loop, and it's going to make all the lights go one way, and we have another for loop, and it's going to make the lights go the other way, and that runs indefinitely. So it works. The timers are working, and the interrupt is working while the Larson scanner is going on, but that blue light is flickering on and off pretty fast. It's not 1 second, it's going pretty fast, so you'll see what I mean. Now my theory is the reason why it's doing that is because when the interrupt is called, we're doing it on a tick level, and because I'm going through a for loop, it might be doing something with that. But I'm going to ask the teacher, and we're going to make sure for that. So without further ado, here's the part of the video that shows it in action. Guys, have a wonderful day. Hey guys, here's what I got going on with this. So that blue light that you see flickering on and off really fast, that is attached to an interrupt, okay? And I actually supposedly have to have that thing. The thing is supposed to be blinking at 1 second, but it's not. Okay, because here's what's going on. At least this is my theory. I also have another thing going on, and that's that Larson scanner. That Larson scanner is not attached to the interrupt. However, it is attached to the main loop. So this thing is going, and each light is on a delay of like 850 milliseconds, okay? Which is why you're getting the effect of a Larson scanner. So I'm thinking that interrupt is actually blinking as fast as that interrupt is being triggered. So that's pretty cool, because if that trigger, so if we're interrupting every second, which is what I'm doing, then that thing might be blinking for as many ticks as that thing is being interrupted, you know, calling by. I don't know, but it's working. It's just having a little bit of an unpredictable result, and I think I'm going to ask my teacher about this, because I want to make sure that the concept that I'm trying to explain is actually what's really going on. If it's not, I will update this video. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful day.